Welcome to a special edition of MSU Inside Out. I'm Neil Roberts. I'm a professor slash instructor for COM 475 here on the campus of Minot State University. COM 475 is called Broadcast Production, and we normally put on a live television show called MSU Inside Out that airs 5 o'clock live every Thursday on Mid-Continent Channel 19 and on YouTube Live, Facebook Live. We also send the show to Bismarck and Fargo, so we get some nice exposure of it. And we're grateful for that. But right now, of course, since spring break, we've been shut down, as many campuses, or all campuses are across the state and across the country right now with COVID-19. And we're trying to make the best of the situation. So what we've decided to do today in the special edition is bring all 15 students of ours that are in this class back to us one way or another, either something pre-recorded or live. And that's what we're going to do today on the special edition. So I'm really looking forward to it. We have a great group this semester, and which is a little bit more of a sting that this thing got shut down because they were doing so well. But that being said, we're going to welcome in student number one, Mykal Grosdal. Mykal's from Newtown, North Dakota, a senior in our program. He's also co-host of the show. Mykal, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, Neil. How are you?
I'm doing okay. Now, tell us what it's been like for students. I know you're a resident assistant director over there, and how are we dealing with that on campus right now during the pandemic?
Lately, the recent development with housing is that we moved all of the students who couldn't leave campus or had nowhere else to go, and we moved into one building. It's Laura Manor, the residence hall on campus. So we're all just kind of like here for the moment and just kind of trying to finish the semester as best as we can in this moment.
And I know you have a package story for us today. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I do. I did this a couple of weeks ago when our show was still in person and everything. And this was like a little update on like what was to come for the month. And it was specifically in Kowal, which is where I was. So I hope you like it.
All right. Thanks, Mykal.
Thanks for tuning in into this week's episode of Hall Happenings. For this episode, we're going to be focusing on Hall and what they did in the month of March. So first up, on March 4th, they did a yoga night in the Wellness Center where residents and people could come in and do some yoga poses for about an hour. It was really nice and refreshing. The next two programs that we will be hosting will be both on March 11th. One in Kowal, where they will be taste testing coffee seeing where it tastes better or which tastes worse. Then the second one will be hosted in Dakota Hall, where they will be doing a paint your own canvas night, and it's gonna be a lot of fun, and you guys better go and check them out. For the last program in March, Kowal will be hosting a How to Stay Safe While Getting Lucky program, which will both be a St. Patrick's themed kind of program, while also talking about safe sex procedures so people know how to stay safe while getting lucky. That's all that's happening in Kowal for the month of March. Stay tuned next time where we will be talking about another hall that will be hosting other events during the month of March or another month. Thanks for tuning in.
All right, nice job, Mykal. Hey, I'm sure we're all anxious to get students back here on campus and back in the dorms, right?
Yeah, especially. Can't wait for everything to kind of see people on campus. And I will say, though, it was weird seeing a video of me with the haircut. So hopefully, hopefully that can come back pretty soon, but we'll find out.
Yours and mine both are both a little out of control there. But hey, we'll talk to you in a couple of weeks, okay, Mykal?
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for having me, Neil.
All right, thanks for that. And hey, from the Great White North, Troy Kowal sat down to talk Western Hockey League hockey with his dad, Tom Kowal, and here's their scoop.
Hi, I'm Troy Kowal for Channel 19 KMSU, and I'm joined with my dad, Tom Kowal. Tom, how are you doing?
I'm really good, Troy. How are you?
I'm great, thank you. So today we're going to talk about the Western Hockey League, and my dad works for the Western Hockey League as a development coach. So give us a little bit about what your role is day-to-day during the season.
For me, I'm the officiating development coach, so my role is just like a player's coach to work with our officials day to day. That means being in the rink probably 4 or 5 times a week, certainly watching games on TV, and certainly doing some video work with our guys, and basically just a mentor coaching role.
How was the transition from obviously working the National Hockey League for the last 20 years to being an off-ice supervisor? How was that transition for you?
You know what? It's a little harder than you think. I mean, you go from the day-to-day grind of being an NHL official to coming off and trying to relate to younger officials and teaching them. And, just because you work at the National League level doesn't mean you're automatically a good coach and can relate. So it's been a transition and something I've had to work hard on, but it's certainly very rewarding and something that I love doing.
And so obviously this summer, what are your duties in the summer entail?
Well, we're busy now, right? We're getting ready for our training camp, which we plan on opening as regular time. And certainly with our prospects, some time. Normally have a development camp, which we won't this year. But certainly watching film from their games in their junior A leagues and just developing a list and getting ready for our staff for next year.
And as the season approaches, are you guys hoping to start on time?
Yeah, I think that's our belief. That's what we're working on now is preparing for training camp and getting ready to go. And obviously, the safety of players and everybody else is most important. But we're gearing up as we'll be ready to go on time.
And one more question. What's your favorite rink in the Western Hockey League arenas to go watch a game in?
Well, I mean, it's pretty cool. They're beautiful now. But I think, Everett, Seattle, because, in Portland on the weekend, they get such big crowds and they're very enthusiastic and loud crowds. So certainly if Seattle, Everett, and Portland are playing each other, those are phenomenal rinks to be in.
Awesome. Thank you. That's my dad, Tom. I'm Troy for KMSU Channel 19. Join me here next week. I'll have a new topic and we'll talk something. And have a great day. Stay safe, Minot.
All right. Thanks, Troy, for that. Of course, Troy, weather person for us here on Inside Out and an offensive lineman for the football team here for the Beavers. Another student athlete is Phillip Green. Phillip normally is our live shot reporter. Phillip is also a football player, a defensive back, and today he's back in Colorado and tells us how at-home workouts for Beaver Athletics is going.
Beaver Athletics have been put on hold due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Gym closures nationwide have led to Minot State athletes having to work out at home in order to stay in shape. Head of Human Performance and Strength and Conditioning for Minot State Athletics, Caleb Heilman, created this 6-week bodyweight workout program for all Minot Athletics to use while they're at home during quarantine. One athlete taking advantage of the stay-at-home workouts is Phillip Green from the football team. He doesn't have access to a traditional weight room.
It's definitely different than doing your barbells and dumbbells, but anything to stay in shape right now is going to help us stay ahead of the game.
The stay-at-home routine includes plyometric exercises in order to help the athletes maintain athleticism. Leg workouts enable the athletes to maintain their strength during their time at home, as well as upper body workouts in order to maintain that same strength. To finish it off, Heilman has also provided a foam rolling routine to help the athletes recover from the strenuous workout in order to stay strong and healthy for the time being.
All right, thanks for that, Phil. And of course, we have a lot of student athletes here in our department. Another one is Cody Dwyer. Cody, center on the basketball team here for the Beavers, and down across the country right now, but he brings us up to speed on some of the latest with the NBA.
All right. I just want to give everybody a quick rundown of what has been going on in the NBA for the past month or so. On March 11th, Rudy Gobert tested positive for COVID-19, becoming the first player in the league to do so. The following day, his teammate Donovan Mitchell was also tested positive for COVID-19. And that day, the NBA postponed any and all games. In total, 15 players and employees have tested positive for COVID-19, including Kevin Durant. Like most other organizations, the NBA is unsure of when they'll be able to return back for the season. However, there is optimism that they will not lose this season. Commissioner Adam Silver has been working close with the United States government to look into spearheading the reopening of the U.S. economy. Whatever it takes to get the economy back up and running, the NBA and Adam Silver are willing to help. While most NBA players aren't hurting when it comes to money, they will all be seeing a 25% salary decrease this year due to any profit losses the NBA has seen. NBA players are also putting their money where their mouth is and donating several hundreds of thousands of dollars each to COVID-19 relief funds. Tragedy escapes nobody, and that's the case with the NBA too. My personal favorite player, Karl Anthony Towns' mother and father, both tested positive for COVID-19. They both had a very long struggle. His father recovered, however his mother, Jacqueline Towns, did not. Rest in peace, Jacqueline Towns. And now you're caught up with everything NBA in regards to COVID-19. I'm Cody Dwyer with KMSU Channel 19. Back to the studio.
All right, thanks for that, Cody. And of course, for those of us that want a little flavor of sports, the NFL draft is tonight. So at least there's something. All right, hey, still lots more to come here on MSU Inside Out. After the break, we're going to talk to Eleni, who's one of our producers and also one of our hosts.
Thank you to all of our underwriters. Trinity Health is a comprehensive healthcare system based in Minot, North Dakota.
Fiance, with all your prom and bridal needs, located in downtown Minot.
KCJB 910 AM, Minot's news and information station.
Buffalo Wild Wings, wings, beer, sports.
KIZZ FM Z94, playing today's hit music.
Mix 99.9, Minot's music mix.
SRT, offering a number of services including phone, TV, internet, and security.
KRRZ, 1390 AM, Minot's classic hits.
KZPR 105.3 FM, Minot's rock station.
East End, where the poor is worth so much more, located in downtown Minot.
Qdoba, easy, on time, full of flavor.
Nice Impressions, no job is too big or too small, located in downtown Minot.
MSU Beavers Hockey, online info at msubeavers.com.
Forward Communication, connecting professionals in the Midwest.
El Azteca, authentic Mexican food on North Broadway near the airport.
MSU Theater Department, year-round entertainment.
Red and Green, MSU's student-run newspaper.
MSU Bookstore, for all your campus needs.
Minot Nutrition Addiction, offering healthy smoothies and meal replacements on the go.
H-Bar-B Construction, for all your oil field needs.
Bearscat Donuts, located on Broadway across from Minot State campus.
We're back here on MSU Inside Out, and planning a move right now is not easy. Joining us live to talk more about that is, as I mentioned before the break, one of our co-hosts and producers is Eleni. Eleni, how's it going?
It's going as good as it can, I guess.
I see you have a special guest there for us today, your mother, so say hi to her for me, and good seeing you both. And yeah, you guys have lots going on right now, don't you?
Yeah, we do. It's a lot. So, and we're stuck together, so it's not really easy in that sense either. All right. So with the coronavirus going on, there are a lot of things that are not normal anymore, and a lot of things going on in life that we have to change, and especially having to stay at home and kind of do everything from home. It's been a lot harder than I think a lot of us thought. So today I have with me my mother, Melina, who is kind of the person that does everything in the house. So I'm kind of admitting I don't do a lot, but she's joining me today to kind of talk about how we plan to move in the future. And since I'm a senior, we're planning to just kind of like wrap up this chapter of our lives and see what happens. And that's kind of difficult right now. So thank you for talking with me, even though we talk all the time. So since we're trying to sell our house right now, what are the things that are different that you're doing and we're doing than, because we sold a house before, so what are some things that are different from the first time we did it?
Well, on March 30th, we were supposed to have an open house, and that, you all know, was when the social distancing and everything started to happen with the pandemic. So that was out. The National Association of Realtors had advised no open houses for the time being. So then we skipped that. And I know some realtors are doing virtual tours. That especially like in New York City, there's a lot of that going on. We had that first week 2 sets of clients come by, and there has to be some screening done. So the listing agent will pre-screen the agent, the buyer agent, and then the clients, and see how everyone's feeling health-wise, and then make sure we're all feeling well. And then I sanitize everything, and it's called a no-touch walkthrough. If someone wants to come in, if they want to wear a mask, that's fine. I leave all the lights on. I leave certain closets open, cabinets open if there's a special feature somewhere I want them to see. So they really don't need to touch anything but the front door and maybe the door out to the patio and the porch and the yard. So they go through. I've already Lysoled everything, and then when they leave, I have to go back through and shut the lights off and sanitize everything. But they shouldn't touch anything but a few major doors. But just in case, I still go through and sanitize. They take their shoes off. We have the social media is big right now. So they go, we're on Facebook. We're on the MLS, the listings, Century 21. I think it's a good time for people that there's still buyers, there's still sellers. There's people that maybe are taking advantage of the lower mortgage rates. So it's still going, but a little more slowly. And I think it gives people a chance to kind of look at the neighborhoods a little more, drive around. They've got some more time to drive around. A lot of people do. So see what the community's like that they're interested in. To compare that, sometimes you're in a rush when you're looking at houses. So that is going on. Do you have any other questions about how we're selling? Eleni is here to help me make it show ready. You know how to do the show stuff downstairs, the show towels so you do help me a little bit.
I'm not really good at that though. So
you're getting better.
So I guess another thing that we should touch on is, we're, trying to find and look at different options, and how has that been affected in terms of, if we do want to move eventually, is that going to affect the timeline of it? And
selling this was just a way to make us freer now that we know you're graduating.
Yeah.
And to get closer to family, since my parents are 90 on the East Coast. So this was one way to, even if we're in town, to be freer to move. But when you think about it, well, of course, jobs right now, that's a little harder. So we're here, we have jobs. And moving. How do you do moving with the movers, the social distancing with packing or carrying furniture? There's so many components to this that just kind of play it by ear.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you do it, that's even in town move. If you eventually do an out of town move, what about, the driving and the trucks, and where are the stops? Are those restaurants open? It's just all kinds of things you have to think about. You never had to think about before. All kinds of travel issues that could pop up.
I don't want to think about it, so you have to.
So that's my job, and we take one thing at a time. It's a good time for us to sell so that we're freer in the future. And we just have to roll with the punches.
Yeah, we're not very good at that. We need plans to function. So we're not doing too great with that.
I'm trying.
Yeah, especially with being all together and screaming at each other constantly. So that's a good time.
Yeah, we're not used to having her around so much. Usually she's at Minot State. So,
and now I'm here.
And now you're here a lot.
Well, thank you for answering questions for me, because obviously I don't listen half the time. So this is some new information to me. So thank you again, Mom. And, a lot of this stuff people may be thinking about in the near future. So hopefully you took away something from this to maybe prepare for maybe moving, even if it's just in town. You still might want to think about these things. So you might want to take away some information from that. And I'm Eleni Garbrandt, and back to you, Neil.
All right. Thanks, Eleni. Boy, lots of stuff that none of us really think of. There's so many different obstacles with this pandemic.
Yes, there are.
for sure. All right. Thanks, Eleni, and thanks to your mom as well for joining us today. All right. Well, with this ongoing pandemic, numerous Americans are faced with the challenge of unemployment, but for some essential workers, this type of event only boosts the workload. And standing by with more on that from San Diego is Tyler Luban.
Medical supply demand is at an all-time high, and joining me today is someone whose job has been greatly affected by that. Dane Luban. How's your day going?
It's going well. How about you?
Awesome. So how has work picked up since the government's orders of COVID-19?
Well, my primary client is a medical manufacturer. It's worldwide. So the amount of work that we've been thrown at is tripled. With the mad panic to build products and devices and get them shipped out to hospitals all over the world, their manufacturing's backed up. So they've asked us to hire anywhere from 85 to 100 extra people to help build these products.
Oh, okay. Have you noticed a change in the community as of late?
Well, the community's scared. The community is a little bit divided right now. I think specifically my city of San Diego, which hasn't peaked as high as a lot of other places have. So there's more lately demands on the city giving up sanctions to get people out of the house, get them back in the beaches and parks. But generally people are following the rules, and I think that's part of the reason why we've been successful is because people are wearing masks, they're keeping their distance.
So what products are being made at your kind of like?
Our primary product is an Lars heart pump that you'll see, pretty much every hospital. It monitors your heart rate, administers drugs when necessary. But since the COVID-19 problem, they've been contracted with the government to provide more respirators for doctors and nurses in hospitals all over the world, as well as testing kits. And a lot of the stuff here gets shipped to Europe.
Okay. And then personally, how are you handling the change from all of the social distancing orders and all that kind of stuff?
Well, being a recruiter, I have to go face-to-face with candidates who come in for jobs, but we're following protocol. We keep our 6 feet, wear masks throughout the process, and primarily just following the rules, and hopefully things will pick up a little bit better and people can get back out to live their lives and get things back to normal.
And my final question is, do you see kind of like a light at the end of the tunnel with all everything that's going on right now?
I do. I think herd immunity is important. It's people that have had this and recovered develop antibodies, and the more of recovery people that get better on, it's going to level out. It is a virus. We've had viruses for millions of years. We've endured through it, and we'll endure this one.
Definitely an interesting time from San Diego here. I'm Tyler Luban for KMSU.
All right. Thanks, Tyler. Some challenges out in San Diego, California. Closer to home during this pandemic, many people are having to find things to do to occupy their time. And Kyle Lugwig recently spoke with his parents to see what they're up to.
Tim and Cheryl Good Ludwig have had to find some activities to fill their days while being stuck at home. Tim has been working on...
Oh, I spend a lot more time on my hobbies. I do some craft work, woodworking. Spend a lot of time in my shop. I've managed to kind of catch up on some things around the house, that little chores and jobs that I've been putting off. I'm getting them done now.
While Cheryl has been working on...
crafts. I painted an old chair. I'm working on a small wall quilt that I bought a couple of years ago, and I play solitaire on the computer every day. We've been doing some spring cleaning.
When asked how their lives have changed, they had this to say.
One thing is the exercising. We used to go to the Y 3 times a week to exercise. So now I have to pull it up on my computer, the Silver Sneakers, and exercise with someone who's exercising on that.
Well, I spend a lot more time around the house. I used to drive around town and run errands 2 or 3 hours a day, and that's kind of put an end to that. Oh, one big change is that my mom and sister live at Edgewood, and I used to go over there twice a day to let their dog out. And now, because they've shut down the facility, I can't go over there anymore. And right now, we're taking care of the dogs, so we've become a 3-dog family. That was quite a change. So.
That's how Tim and Cheryl have been dealing with the pandemic. For KMSU TV, I'm Kyle Ludwig.
All right, thanks, Kyle. Dylan Thomas, he's a senior here at Minot State. He runs audio during our show typically. Well, he's been helping with a talk show produced by his family during the COVID quarantine, and we're joining him today as he talks to his two brothers about that show.
Thanks, Neil. Quarantine has been a struggle to stay entertained. My family and I have been teaming up with our friends to make a talk show that hopefully everyone can enjoy. Joining me today are the creators of Talking with the Thomases.
Hey, I'm Nick.
I'm Will.
Can you guys tell me a little bit about yourselves?
My name's Nick. I'm in the 7th grade. I go to Eric Ramsden Middle School, and I helped create Talking with the Thomases.
Hi, I'm Will Thomas. I'm a junior, and of course I go to Magic City campus, and I'm the host of Talking with the Thomases.
And what exactly is the show?
It's just a talk show where we have interviews we've done you and with ourselves, and then we also have bits with other people, our friends and family.
So how did the show's idea form, I guess?
Well, it started one day when we were kind of sitting around the dinner table, kind of bored, and we're like, what can we do during this quarantine time? And so, I don't know, we started shooting out ideas. Then Nick came up with the idea of a talk show, and my dad really reinforced that idea into all of us. And so we kind of just executed that idea.
And what kind of writing process do you guys go through when you're about to make an episode?
Well, the news app on the iPhone. Just scroll through there. Look up, see if you can find any jokes there.
He comes up with the jokes. I kind of rewrite them to flow better with my sense of style, you know. And like with guests and stuff, I come up with like a couple base questions to ask them and then go from there. You know, kind of just have a nice conversation with the guests.
Thank you guys for joining me.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Talking with the Thomases has a YouTube page and an Instagram account now. You can catch up with past episodes and look for more new content. For KMSU TV, I'm Dylan Thomas.
All right, thanks for that, Dylan. Hey, still lots to come here on MSU Inside Out. When we come back, we're going to talk to one of our students who does some radio back in rugby.
I've been cheering since I was a freshman in high school. I coached for about 2 years. I was a head coach there. It's always been my life. I really love how involved all my teachers are, and they really care. I get a lot of real-world experience here. Public relations to me is all about helping an organization, a business, an individual be shed in a positive light. That's what it's all about. For the KMSU auction, we go around to businesses, we get donations. I got to auction off the packages on live TV. I loved everything about it. I can't tell you how much fun I had. I never knew what I was going to do, and I never had any passions. I have a broadcasting degree. I felt I was at home at school, and I finally felt I was on the right path, and I was actually going to like what I'm doing and be good at it.
Destin Hall. My major is broadcasting, specifically journalism. I've always liked photography. I just like to be that guy with the camera. I like interviewing the people. That's just something I always wanted to do. My grandpa always read the newspaper, so I wanted to take that and write in the newspaper because I know he'll be proud. So I want to get all my classes in right now so I can have a lot of experience in the field. So as soon as I get out of college, I can find the job that I really want to do. The people here are very wonderful. It's like a big family. They'll always have your back, and that's what I like about it.
I'm Shalom Barron. I'm from Kalispell, Montana. I'm a junior. You do a lot of hands-on classes. I've never done newspaper writing until now. I think it's great to be able to actually practice that. When I graduate, I'll actually have pieces that I've written. I definitely am interested in politics in general. I've been trying to focus on things that really interest me. That way I have experience in the things I'm interested in.
All right, we're back, everybody. Hey, working at a small market radio station right now has its challenges as well. Joining us live to talk more about that is Taten, who normally is our technical director, among other things here for MSU Inside Out. Taten, how's it going?
It's going pretty good, Neil. The switch to this online classes has been an interesting ride, but like I told you last week in our production meeting, it's for me especially, it's probably not going to be the funnest memory right now. But when I'm older and retired, it's probably going to be, hey, I was pretty lucky to be working in the media during a time like this, and obviously the biggest contributor to a radio station in any market really is the sales and marketing, and really that's taken a little bit of a hit, as many of the businesses around here, they don't like over the phone sales, so they prefer in-person sales, just as far as agreeing to contracts and things like that. So that's taken a little bit of a hit as far as that's concerned. But as far as our day-to-day operations, really nothing has really changed, except in the afternoon block we take the governor's daily press briefing live every day at usually 3:30, 4 o'clock when he goes live, and we do that. So that's been really the only change to the daily programming. And then unfortunately the high school sports is another big part of our coverage. That's been suspended for the time being, so we're just trying to mitigate that as much as we can, trying to do keep everybody updated who follows that, and it's just going to be we kind of have the mentality of, it's going to get better eventually, and we'll be back to normal before we know it. So it'll be a good time.
All right, Taten. Thanks for that. And of course, as real quick, as a student, getting that experience up there right now and having to deal with, a lot of people think of a radio station, just the on-air people, but you made some good points about salespeople not being able to interact right now, office people probably at home. So from a professional standpoint, I'm sure you're realizing the show still has to go on, and businesses are just trying to survive right now until we get some remedy here, right?
Yeah, and that's just the biggest thing is we've all of us at the station have really been chipping in more to the local businesses, trying to spend as much money here locally as we can, just to try and keep them afloat, especially the restaurants and those things that are still allowed to operate at somewhat of a normal capacity. So it's and another big thing right now, is, at least for me, since I'm mainly working from home, is running the station's social media pages. So that takes up a pretty decent chunk of my mornings usually, because that's when the Department of Health and all the other news outlets start reporting the case numbers and everything for the day. So that's a big part of my responsibilities right now. Normally I'd be on the air, but with everything going on, we just thought it would be safer for me to work from home. So I'm just trying to make the best of it, like everybody else.
All right, Taten, some great words of advice there. Thanks. And yeah, everybody should be supporting their local businesses as best we can right now. So take care, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, we'll see you then, Neil.
All right. Well, thanks for Taten again. Taten working at KZZJ Radio back in Rugby. He does that part-time, doing play-by-play and some shift work for Lila up there. And I know he and we appreciate that as well. So now we're going to move on to one of our producers for the show. Veronica Rivera is going to join us now on a pre-recorded Skype interview she did with her mom.
Hi, everyone. My name is Monica Rivera. I'm here with my mom, Trisha Rivera, and I'm from Riverside, California. I obviously go to school at Minot State University. I'm a broadcasting major. I'm a senior this year, and I should be graduating in the spring. Let's hope we have graduation and we get to walk. I'm currently not home because of the coronavirus, but I wanted to ask my mom a couple of questions. Thank you for being here. Well, on Skype with me.
No problem.
So, I wanted to ask you a couple questions about how you guys are handling the virus back at home. So, what's it like out there right now?
You know what? Everybody's staying home. You know, the streets are not packed. The stores are practically the only thing that's open. So yeah, it's pretty boring over here.
How has it affected your work life so far?
For work, we own our towing and transport business, and usually we move about 30 to 35 cars in a day, and we're barely moving 30 to 35 cars in a week right now. So yeah, it's really slow.
And with the work being slow, how are you trying to make ends meet at the end of the day?
Well, we were able to do a lot of deferments. Thank God we don't have a lot of, payments and bills over our head and stuff. So, we are making ends meet, and with all the California relief out there, trying to get, a small business loan, for the interest only to pay. So yeah, there's some things out there, but still standing in line basically.
Yeah. And also I heard that at the stores you can only go one way. Is that right? Like when you walk.
That is correct. That is correct. In the aisles you can only go one way, and they're only allowing so many people in at one time. So there's a person standing at the entrance, and they have a little clicker that counts how many people go in, and then when you go out the exit, they click you out. So they have only, depends on how big the building is, they're only letting my Stater Brothers, it's only 30 people in at a time. So, the stores are not packed, and you can only go in one direction. The arrows are on the floor. You have to follow little arrows.
Yeah.
So it's, everything's organized, and they're disinfecting everything when they hand you a cart. It's just, they're wiping it down right there in front of you, and you have to have a mask on at all times.
Which is very different from here. We're not that level yet. We have masks and stuff like that, but we can go to the store like normal. It's just social distancing, make sure 6 feet, but it's not that extent yet.
We are at the extreme, it seems like.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to Skype me. I really appreciate it.
Anything.
Thank you. Thank you. And thank you, everyone, for watching. We really appreciate it. We know this show is different, but we hope you like it.
All right. Nice work, Monica. Up next, we have one of our studio camera operators, Veronica Correy. Caught up with her husband recently, and they talked about life back in Las Vegas.
In these times of uncertainty, a lot has changed for us. This was most evident by Jacob, weapons specialist for the U.S. Air Force. He was recently in Las Vegas when the city was put on lockdown. Jacob, how was your experience with Las Vegas before the lockdown?
Before the lockdown, Vegas was the usual hustle and bustle that it always is. I mean, people everywhere, a lot of traffic, and we had a good time on the first day we were there. Everything was open. We still got to go zip lining over Fremont Street, go karting, that kind of thing. Got go to the casinos and experience what stereotypical Vegas.
Okay. And how was it after the city was put on lockdown?
It was pretty crazy. The streets were cleared. Nothing more than a couple cars and maybe a squad car here and there. My hotel got put on lockdown. All the casinos were cleared out. We had to get permission from the governor just to stay in our hotel past a certain time. It was a crazy difference.
And from going from Las Vegas and traveling back to Minot, how was it different than your usual times? Because you've been to Las Vegas 6 times now, right?
Yes. Nothing has been quite hysterical as this trip home. I mean, we had to get in a single file line, 6 foot spacing. The flight doctor had to take all of our temperatures before we even got on the plane to come home. And then instead of having, your usual entourage welcome you back home when you've been gone a while, when we landed, we just got straight in our vehicles with our families and went home on quarantine, about 14 to 20 day quarantine.
And so during this time of quarantine, is there anything special that you've been doing, or?
A lot of cleaning. I mean, got a little stir crazy for a while. There's only so much you can clean the house or get bored of playing video games, but it hasn't been bad. It's just been, the isolation is very new to me.
And so are you still working right now?
I am still working. I went back to work after about 20 days, and so now we're on kind of a split shift, 7 days off, 7 days on, 12-hour shifts. And there's 2 sets of people to still separate us, but still get a job done. Still have to wear masks while we're at work, the 6-foot spacing. So operation, we're still doing our job, but we have to take all the extra precautions for the virus.
Exactly. Well, I just want to thank you for your personal experience through this. I bet a lot of people are going through the similar thing with the quarantine. This is Veronica with KMSU Channel 19.
All right, thanks for that, Veronica. Our graphics producer, Chad Olsen, has been busy during the quarantine and now is joining us with his wife, Valerie, and they'll fill us in on the hotel scene here in Minot and how life in general is going.
Hi, everybody. I am Chad Olsen. I am a junior at Minot State University in the Broadcasting and Professional Communication Department. I am this close to being a senior, so super excited about that. And joining me today, I have my wife, Valerie, on the show. Say hello, Valerie.
Hello.
All right, and I just wanted to interview you and tell us about your position that you do for a job.
I work at the sleep-in at the front desk.
Okay. And how long have you been there?
10 years.
10 years? Okay. And how has coronavirus impacted the hotel industry?
It's completely changed it. We are a hotel that's normally full every weekend and at least half full every night of the week. And the highest occupancy that I've seen since all of this started is 16%.
Wow, that's quite the impact. And coronavirus has also impacted your job personally. Can you elaborate a little bit on that?
Yep, I used to be the front desk manager, and in order to be able to keep my job, I had to take a demotion, and along with that, I also took a pay cut.
Okay. And so what has your personal life been like at home?
At home, it's been fine, just trying to keep positive and watching all of Netflix and Hulu and things like that.
Yeah, and we just got an Xbox, and we've been playing some NBA 2K20 because we miss sports. Yes. So how do you feel about the future currently?
I feel hopeful. People are kind of starting to come out of the woodwork a little bit more and make more reservations, and which I haven't made any reservations in about 4 weeks.
Mm-hmm. Do you think the hotel business will recover quickly or not so much? What's your perception on that?
I think it'll be a slow and steady climb.
Okay. And if the current government leadership, if you could suggest anything to them, what would that be?
Just to support the local businesses, just because that's what is going to help our local economy.
Okay. All right. Those are some pretty good answers. Is there anything else that you'd like to add?
No.
Okay. Well, like I said, this is Valerie Olsen, my wife. She works at the Sleep Inn, and we're doing actually pretty well through this whole ordeal. So we're very thankful and blessed, and we're hoping everybody out there is doing okay themselves, and hopefully everything will work out for the future. So we're both optimistic, and so hopefully that encourages you on this day. So everybody have a safe and pleasant day.
All right, thanks, Chad. Of course, the coronavirus has impacted the world in unimaginable ways, and one of the most affected areas in our country is the state of California. Minot State student and California native Nina Arias is there reporting to explain the impact of COVID-19 and how it has had that impact on college students.
The coronavirus has impacted the world in unimaginable ways. One of the most affected areas in our country is the state of California. Minot State student and California native Nina Arias is there reporting to explain the impact COVID-19 has had on college students.
Good evening, I'm Nina Arias, reporting from Salinas, California. I'm here with Hartnell College student Nicole Polo to discuss the transition from in-person to online classes.
Majoring in mechanical engineering is no easy feat. What would you say the hardest part about it is?
For me, the most difficult part would have to be taking the labs that I would normally do in person and have to do them on an online platform because I don't have that one-on-one with the professor where they can help me see what I'm doing wrong.
Although Polo has done a good job adjusting to online courses, she can't wait to return to regular class sessions. It hasn't been the easiest adjustment for residents, but with continued practice of social distancing, we hope to return to normal soon. I'm Nina Arias reporting for KMSU Channel 19.
All right, thanks for that, Nina. Kaden Cardoso is a baseball player here on campus and also is our sports reporter here for our campus television show. Well, he's on report today telling us about some insight on baseball right now.
The coronavirus has left the world in an odd time. Hugging is socially unacceptable, schooling is now mainly online, and some North American sports are ready to make the switch as well. MLB The Show is a simulation baseball game where MLB stars have taken to online streaming services to fix their baseball edge. Each MLB club has an assigned user who is usually a member on the team. The league has their own standings, stats, and playoff bracket. Joey Gallo of the Texas Rangers is at the top of the league at 17-3, while Eduardo Riguez and the Boston Red Sox are in the basement at 2-15. Full schedules and links can be found on MLB.com. Vegas betting odds have Blake Snell as the favorite, while Fernando Tatis and Juan Soto sit at plus 500. For KMSU Channel 19 Coronavirus Update, I am Kaden Cardoso, signing off.
All right, seniors in the broadcasting department had a difficult challenge ahead when the coronavirus altered how they would present their senior projects this semester. And 3 of them shared virtual presentations this semester. Devan Shumand recently completed his project and highlights what he did at home to prep for this presentation.
Hey everyone, hope you're doing well, hope you're being safe. So for some of you, this background where I'm at might look familiar. This is where I presented my senior project this year. This is in my bedroom, in my apartment. And today I want to show you a little bit of what it took to film my senior project. So this is where a majority of the talking head portion was filmed. I just want to give you a little bit of a behind the scenes of what my camera setup was like, what my thought process was while I was filming, as well as what I thought of my finished presentation. Hope you enjoy. Switching to iPhone mode now. I want to show you my desk setup while I was recording the section that was in my bedroom. So right here you can see I have my camera plugged into this monitor. So this was really handy so I could see myself while I was talking. So I made sure that I was in focus and so I could see if my camera battery died or not. This is really helpful. I'm really glad I did this. I kept referencing it throughout the video. Now moving over here to my computer. This was what I was looking at while I was recording most of the video. As you can see, I can kind of scroll through and make sure I'm looking at what you guys will be seeing as well. And here's the whole timeline for that. So another thing that was really helpful was I had my notebook over here and I had just some bullet points, just some little things that I wanted to hint at, make sure I didn't miss anything. I kept referencing it throughout the video as well, and that was a big help. I hope you enjoyed that look into my senior project. A lot of different pieces had to come together in order for it to work, and I'm so glad that it did and it turned out the way it did. I had been stressing about this project for quite a long time, and while I am happy that it's over, I am excited to look back on this video in the future and just reminisce on what all went into it and all the people that helped me along the way. So for everyone who helped me, thank you. And for KMSU TV, I'm Devan Shumand.
Thanks, Devan. Looking forward to that presentation. And thanks to everyone for joining us for this special edition of MSU Inside Out today. We'll be back in 2 weeks as we hope to let our students tell their stories through whatever technology we can find to help do that best. So until then, I'm Neil Roberts. Catch us in 2 weeks.